Dear tax professionals, today we are going to discuss conditions for determining residential status of an individual as amended by Finance Act 2020. Before I discuss and deliberate on the topic, let us recollect the budget day. On a budget day when these proposals modifying the section 6 of the Income Tax Act were read out in the Parliament, and immediately after listening all these proposals, serious concerns were raised by the Indian citizen or Indian origin who settled abroad. Thank God, Honorable Finance Minister considered the concerns raised by them and slightly modified these proposals before obtaining the assent of the President. Let us look at the amended provisions by Finance Act 2020. If you read bare tax of Section 6 as amended by Finance Act 2020, even for a tax practitioner, it is very difficult to determine the residential status of an individual client sitting before him. And therefore, for better understanding, I have divided individuals into 5 categories ranging from category A to category E. I have also given the reference of the subsection and clauses of section 6 so that one would like to have an academic interest in reading the bare act, one can really enjoy that. Let us look at category A individual. Category A individual is emerging from subsection 1A of section 6, which has been newly inserted, and clause D in subsection 6 to section 6, which has also been newly inserted. If we read subsection 1A, then it has got overriding effect over section 6. That's why I have put it in a category A. We have to start step by step. So first we have to screen the client, that whether our client is an individual, whether he is a citizen of India, having total income other than income from foreign sources exceeding 15 lakh rupee during the previous year, and he is not liable to tax in other country or territory by reason of his domicile, residence or criteria of similar nature, then this client sitting before us is a deemed resident in India. Mind well what I have said, section 6 subsection 1A has an overriding effect over the provision of this section. That's why if client is an individual being a citizen of India, having total income excluding foreign sources income exceeding 15 lakh rupee during the previous year, and he is not liable to pay tax in the country or a territory by reason of domicile or residence or some similar criteria, then for Indian tax regime he is a deemed resident. Thank God, Finance Minister has not become further harsh on them, and Finance Minister introduced clause D in subsection 6 of section 6, which says that such deemed resident is always not ordinary resident. Thank God, such deemed resident is always not ordinary resident. Finance Minister also attempted to define income from foreign sources, and the income from foreign sources meaning given is which is accruing or arising outside India, but 2 exceptions have been written. If that income is derived from a business controlled in India or a profession set up in India, then that would not be considered as an income from foreign sources. So this is category A individual. Mind well, all these conditions I have written A, B, C. They are cumulative. So whenever you determine residence status of a client, more particularly who is settled abroad, then you look at A, B, C cumulatively and see that whether he falls in the category of deemed resident in India or not. Let us look at now category B. Category B, if you would like to read in a bare act, you can look at section 6 subsection 1 and you should read explanation 1B. When you read explanation 1B, you read amended portion. In explanation 1B, it starts with and then they have written long sentence. That is in explanation 1B, and Finance Minister also inserted clause C in subsection 6 to the section 6 of the Income Tax Act. On a combined reading, category B individual emerge. Let us read who falls in category B. Those who are individual being citizen of India. Now one word more written is person of Indian origin, having total income other than income from foreign sources exceeding 15 lakh rupee during the previous year, and who being outside India is coming to India for the purpose of visit in a previous year, then for this purpose, for this individual, he becomes resident in India in a previous year if he satisfies any one, I repeat, any one of the following condition. Condition 1, he is in India at least for 182 days during the previous year, or he is in India at least for 120 days during the previous year and 365 days during 4 previous year immediately preceding the concerned previous year. So in short, this category B is apart from section 6.1a. 6.1a I have already discussed category A. It has an overriding effect. Therefore, if individual falls in 6.1a category A, matter ends. No need to come to category B. But if he doesn't fall there, then look at category B. Category B says whether the individual client sitting before you, whether he is a citizen of India or whether he is a person of Indian origin. Check it out his total income excluding foreign sources, whether it exceeds 15 lakh. And check it out whether he is visiting India. If yes, then we need to see whether he satisfies any one of the following condition. Condition 1, whether he is in India at least for 182 days during the previous year, or whether he is in India for 120 days during the concerned previous year and 365 days during 4 previous year immediately preceding the concerned previous year. If he satisfies any one of them, then he becomes a resident during that previous year. Now, when he will become not ordinary resident, then we have got clause C to section 6.6, that is subsection 6 of section 6, clause C, which has been inserted by Finance Act 2020, which says that this person is becoming not ordinary resident for tax purpose if he is in India for 120 days or more, but less than 120 days during the previous year. So what it says, that this person become not ordinary resident when? If he is in India for 120 days or more and less than 182 days. So mind well, if this person is in India for 182 days or more, then he becomes a resident and ordinary resident. But if he falls between these days, then he is called resident but not ordinarily resident. Again, income from foreign sources, same meaning has been assigned as we have discussed for the category A. Let us take it that person, individual client sitting before you does not fall in category A and category B. Then category C emerges, that one can read subsection 1 of section 6 along with explanation 1b, opening part of this explanation, and clause A of section 6.6 of the Income Tax Act. Now what category C says, he is an individual being a citizen of India or a person of Indian origin. He is outside India, he is coming to India on a visit, and his total income other than income from foreign sources not exceeding 15 lakh. I am writing now word the word, not exceeding 15 lakh. Then he is said to be resident in India in a previous year. Only one condition we have to check it out. If he is in India at least for 182 days during the previous year. This condition is in contrast to category B. In category B, we have seen that his total income exceeded 15 lakh. Here his total income does not exceed 15 lakh and he is coming to India for a visit. Then we have to check only one condition, that whether he is in India for 1 or 2 days during the previous year. If answer is coming yes, then he become a resident for the relevant previous year. Person of Indian origin, we are aware that if he or any of the parents or any of his grandparent was born in undivided India, then he is called a person of Indian origin. Now when category C becomes not ordinary resident, for that purpose we have to read clause A of section 6.6 of the Income Tax Act. So category C becomes not ordinary resident if this individual has been a non-resident in India in 9 out of 10 previous year preceding relevant previous year. So we have to see if we are determining residency status for the previous year 2021, then we have to see last 10 previous years and we have to check it out that whether he was a non-resident in 9 out of 10. If answer is coming yes, then he become not ordinary resident, or he has been during 7 preceding years in India, put together for all 7 years in India, he was in India for 729 days or less. If he satisfies these conditions, then also he becomes a resident but not ordinarily resident. This is what clause A of section 6 speaks out. Let us see category D individual. Category D individual emerges by reading subsection 1 of section 6 along with explanation 1A and explanation 2. And for determining his ordinary status, whether he is ordinary or not ordinary resident, we have to look at clause A. Let us read who falls in category D. Category D is an individual who is a citizen of India. Mind well, origin word is not there. Who is a citizen of India and who is leaving India. Mind well, here he is not coming to India. He is leaving India either as a member of crew of an Indian ship or is leaving India for the purpose of employment outside India. Then for this person also he becomes resident in India provided he is in India at least for 182 days during the previous year. Explanation 2 is a specific explanation for a citizen of India and a member of crew of a foreign bound ship. Then for these persons, how to compute 182 days, one notification is given. I am not reading that right now notification, but explanation 2 talks about how to determine 182 days for such person being a citizen of India and member of a crew of a foreign bound ship leaving India. How to determine their not ordinary resident status? It is similar to we have seen recently for category C, that is clause A of section 6.6, that if he is in India for non-resident at least 9 out of 10 preceding year, or he is in India in last 7 previous year not exceeding 730 days, that means 790 days, 729 days or less, then he become resident but not ordinary resident. So I repeat what category D emerges. He is a citizen of India and he is leaving India either as a crew member of an Indian ship or he is leaving India for the purpose of employment. Then for him we have to check it out only 182 day condition. If he is in India for 182 days or more, then he becomes what? A resident. So far as not ordinary resident, similar conditions we have read out in clause A of subsection 6 of section 6 are applicable. Last category is a general category who is not falling in A to D. That means we all are normally falling in category E. For them there are no changes in condition, that what we know, but let me read out. This person become resident in India if he satisfies any one of the following basic condition. Number A, he is in India at least for 180 days during the previous year, or he is in India at least for 60 days during the previous year and 365 days during 4 previous year immediately preceding the concerned previous year. So here this is a general category applicable to those who are not covered by A to D. If he satisfies any one of these conditions, either he is in India for 182 days or he is in India for 60 days during the previous year and 365 days in preceding 4 previous year, then he becomes a resident of this country. When he become not ordinary resident, again we have got clause A applicable, and clause A we already discussed that this person become not ordinary resident in India if he is non-resident India in 9 out of 10 preceding year, or he in last 7 previous year he is in India not exceeding 730 days, meaning thereby he is in India for 729 days or less, then he become resident but not ordinary resident. I have given bare text at the end of the article, one can read it in detail. We need to be very careful while determining resident status of our client who is an individual from the financial year 2021 because these changes are drastic, and we know that a residential status has a bearing on the determination of total income of a taxpayer. When we read section 5 of the Income Tax Act, which determines the scope of total income, which says that scope of total income is based on the residential status of the person, and therefore these conditions are very vital. I hope you have understood and enjoyed this session well. Thank you.